Replaced is an upcoming 2.5D action platformer set in an alternate, post-nuclear version of the 1980s. You play as Reach, an artificial intelligence forced to inhabit a human body. The AI is rapidly losing its sense of self while struggling to adapt to life in Phoenix City, a devastated metropolis in the southwestern United States. I had the opportunity to go hands-on with Replaced at Gamescom last month under the steady guidance of studio co-founder Igor Gritsay.
Cinematic brilliance.
First and foremost, I would like to point out how beautiful this game is. The art direction of Replaced is scintillating. Washed-out industrial lots, neon-lit car parks, neo-futuristic factories. There's clearly been a lot of time and love put into every environment Reach passes through, even if the area is liminal and only on screen for a few fleeting seconds. That's not to mention its cinematography. The camera moves and rotates during cutscenes, which isn't something you'd expect from a 2.5D game, which tends to have a fixed camera angle. Gritsay tells me the team is passionate about cinema, and a lot of background work was put in place to enable these cinematic angles. The 2.5D nature of Replaced means that environments have been designed with depth in mind. There's a clear foreground, middle ground, and background to every scene. You'll often just be moving along the foreground, but certain areas require you to move deeper into the scene to progress. Every aspect of Replaced's visuals has been designed with 2.5D in mind. Street lamps in the background spill light into the front of the shot, and neon signs will cast their colored hues over an entire scene. The characters are drawn in a pixel art style, adding another distinctive layer onto a game that's already got everything going for it visually. I piloted Reach for 30 or so minutes in the decaying outskirts of Phoenix City, and I came away feeling very positive about Replaced's eventual release. We begin by slowly advancing through ravaged buildings. Replaced combines neo-futurism and post-nuclear aesthetics, a little like Fallout but with a cyberpunk touch. You'll see ruined, blocky computer monitors and server equipment strewn around as you move through this failed state. Replaced makes use of light puzzle-solving elements. One section had me pulling a trolley into the right position to give me a leg up to reach a ladder above. The preview was relatively linear, but there's a surprising amount of nooks and crannies to explore as you move through each level.
Familiar combats.
Exploration is often rewarded with orbs that power up your character, i.e. more damage and/or health. You can also find lore to read on your wingman, essentially a Walkman with a screen you can scroll through. I also played through a brief stealth section, which had me dart from cover to cover to avoid a search beacon moving in the background. Gritsay tells me that he gets annoyed when other games have stealth sections just for the sake of it. In Replaced, a stealth section is intended as a vessel for exposition, rather than any significant stumbling block for the player. In this case, the section illustrated how dangerous Phoenix City is. Guards have been posted on the walls to ensure no one from outside the city gets in, and they're willing to shoot indiscriminately to ensure that remains the case. There are other narrative hints scattered around the preview that have me excited to explore more of Replaced's dystopia. The plot seems dark and, dare I say, hopeless, but with an 80s action movie slant that keeps your character fighting until the very end. Eventually, I moved on to my first combat section, and fans of Rocksteady's Batman Arkham series will certainly be familiar with Replaced's take on things. You effortlessly dash around a large group of enemies, countering yellow prompts and dodging red ones. The animations are slick, and you can fill a bar that allows you to execute a single enemy using your gun. This particular animation is seamless and cinematic, just like the rest of Replaced. There are multiple enemy types, including a heavy, which I ultimately use my gun on. Presumably, the combat will become more challenging and harder to navigate as players progress through the game. The preview ends with Reach being saved by a mysterious side character. Replaced has a rudimentary dialogue system where one can ask characters additional questions or simply progress along the critical conversation path to progress the story. If the full game winds up being as polished as the preview and other demos we've seen over the last couple of years, then Replaced has all the right components to be a famous indie hit. Sad Cat Studios has invested a significant amount of time and care into its debut game. If the studio can ship Replaced with that level of investment consistently applied across the whole experience, then the future is bright.